Where to stay on Corfu Island? This is one of the most asked questions I get about Corfu, so let me walk you through all the possible towns. For more info about Corfu I've been 40 times, check out my complete Corfu guide if you're looking for a hotel, the accommodations on my website. First, of course, Corfu Town, the beautiful capital of the island. When should you stay in Corfu Town? If you are visiting for a very short period, like 1 to 3 nights, in the fall or in spring, because in summer it's bloody hot in town, and in spring, fall and winter, Corfu Town is still open, while other places close down for winter. It's also the place where all public transport leaves from, so in case you're staying just 1 to 3 nights, you must see the town. In addition to that, you can choose to visit a couple of beaches. Secondly, Benitses. South of Corfu Town, if there's no traffic, it's like a 10-minute drive. This means it's very centrally located, so that's why a lot of people like to stay here. Also because it has a city bus going back and forth from Corfu Town, so it's easy to get there the whole day. As you can see, very touristy, but it has like an old village center. Not many tourist resorts in Corfu have this. Full of nice tavernas, and at least compared to some other tourist resorts we're gonna see, it looks a bit authentic. Beach is not amazing, the colors look great here, but as you can see, it's small and the main road to the south is right behind it. That's the point I personally dislike about Benitez. Most people that go here are from the UK, so there are also some pubs. Then Gouvia. It's on the other side of Corfu Town, also a 10 to 15 minute drive. Apart from Corfu Town, Gouvia is the most well-connected place by public transport of the whole island. So if you are not renting a vehicle but you want to see a lot, you really should consider staying here. Look, it's not the prettiest. It has a couple of strips with tourist shops, places to eat at. It has a beach, again, not fantastic, but there is one. But you can find any type of accommodation in the area because it consists of Gouvia, Contogali and Comenno. There are large all-inclusive resorts, very exclusive ones, but also very cheap apartment complexes. During the summer, there is some proper nightlife here, but it's not the biggest party place of the island. There's a place for everyone in Gouvia. You need public transport, or if you want to choose from a large range of accommodations and facilities, but you're still going to discover the whole island, consider Gouvia because it's so centrally located. After Gouvia, on the road to the northeast coast, we find Dasia and Ipsos. Dasia nowadays I would also describe as a place where you're gonna stay if you want to go out and discover, because there's a big Ecos resort now, and everything in Dasia now revolves around this resort. So yeah, there was more authentic life a couple of years ago. Ipsos consists of 1 kilometer long strip, as you can see. Ditto beach, not so spectacular, very small stroke of sand. On the strip are shops, bars, restaurants, cafes. I personally don't like it at all, but that's just me. There are many cheap accommodations here, and in August it's taken over by Italians, young Italians. They are coming for friend group party holidays. There are also some clubs or beach clubs that turn into clubs at night in Dasia and Ipsos. Ipsos is the last place on this road that has a city bus connection to Corfu Town, which is super regular. Above Ipsos there are only long distance buses. So over to Barbati, the next town after Ipsos on the northeast coast, has a very long beach with very large white pebbles, and the watercolor is beautiful. The beach clubs on Barbati beach are very nice. Some of them also have very decent food, and up on the hill where the main road is, there are some more nice tavernas. But as I said, from Barbati and up there are only long distance buses to Corfu Town. So take into account that from here and up, Corfu Town will be more like a day trip, be at some point too far for like a dinner visit. If you keep going more northeast on the same road, you'll end up in Kassiopi, a very popular place to stay on Corfu. It has a couple of beaches with amazing emerald, green and turquoise waters. What's nice about it is that it's a former fishing town, so it has a harbor with restaurants, and behind that some nice stone streets full of shops and more restaurants. So it has an authentic feel to it. Actually, it's the ideal place to stay for couples. Only 2 things I don't like about Kassiopi is that it is loaded with people in summer. The spaces are not too big, the parking spaces are very rare. I wouldn't book there in August. And the second thing is, of course, it's a little bit further from Corfu Town. I guess it would be certainly a 45-minute drive. North and south of Kassiopi, there are many smaller former fishing villages like Ayos Stefanos and Kalami, this one. If you're looking for this Kassiopi vibe but smaller, you can book at one of those villages. Then on the north side of Corfu, we have Aharavi and Roda. The whole north side basically almost one long beach, and behind it are accommodations, and behind the accommodations is the main road with shops and tavernas both in Aharavi and Roda. It's great actually for families, for people that want a relaxing holiday. All the options are there, including some bars and pubs, but it's well spread out, no party nightlife, relaxed vibe. Because a party center of the north of Corfu is the next town, Sidari, which is famous for the amazing looking Canal d'Amour, but in August it's crazy how many people go there every day. Sidari has a strip inside the town full of bars. It's mostly people from the UK that go there. Happy hour, cocktails, karaoke. There's definitely real nightlife going on there. If you want to stay in the north of Corfu and you are a group of friends or somebody that's looking for nightlife, definitely consider Sidari because that's where it happens. Now we're going down from the west side of the island from north to south. You will find 3 towns there: Agios Georgios north, Agios Stefanos northwest, and Arilas. All of them kind of have the same laid-back vibe. Long sandy beaches, organized, not extremely overcrowded, boulevards without much traffic and with many nice tavernas. And Arilas and Agios Stefanos have a backdrop of amazing cliffs. So if you would like a laid-back family holiday with just 1 or 2 excursions to another part of the island, then definitely consider one of these 3. If we go further down on the west coast, we are already in Paleokastritsa, famous for the many beaches with turquoise waters. When you are staying in Paleokastritsa, every day you have the choice from 4 or more beaches. The only downside to it is that it gets very busy during the summer. The accommodations, bars and restaurants are not super authentic, it's more made for tourists these days. However, it's stunning. I though prefer the next door village, which is Liapades, because it also has multiple beaches with the same turquoise waters. But on the hill Liapades also has an old part, an old village, with a traditional village square and traditional tavernas. I would definitely describe Liapades as the perfect destination for couples and people who want to rent a boat or hike to the hidden beaches of the area. Then we get Hermones and Glifada beaches, but the main accommodation options there are 2 large resorts, so I'm skipping them and moving on to Pelekas. Pelekas is a traditional village, so there's traditional bakery, traditional tavernas and very nice views. Below the village there are 2 amazing beaches, one of which is called Contoyalos, long sandy organized beach, but the road from the village to the beach is extremely steep. So don't think if you have an accommodation in the village, easy walking up and down the whole day. Not gonna happen. Pelekas is just very nice for people to stay at who want to stay in a traditional village, but still have a beach nearby. Apart from that, it's super centrally located, it's like in the middle of the island. So if you rent a car, it's very easy to go to Corfu Town, the north and the south. And then below Pelekas, there's Agios Georgios, which has the same kind of beach with a stunning cliff on the side, making it look like Thailand. The difference with Pelekas is Agios Georgios really is a seaside resort, meaning the accommodations are on a hill but very close to the beach. So you can more easily walk to the beach, but there is no traditional village included. Beach bars are also tavernas with good food. There's a cocktail bar. One of the places organizes Greek nights. Whether you are a couple, a family, friend group, Agios Georgios is enjoyable for everyone. You can be in Corfu Town within 20 minutes. Then the south part of Corfu starts, which is full of kilometers long sandy beaches. Many of those beaches do not really have a resort attached to it. It's more small apartment complexes or stunning private villas that have recently been built. So if you're looking for that, search in this area from Agios Georgios and below. There is, however, one small town, Agios Georgios south. There's one in the north and one in the south. Over here there are more accommodations, tavernas, etc. conglomerated together. It used to be a very nice and relaxed spot for family holidays, cheap options as well, very cheap, because the south is not so popular as the north. However, the last time I passed through it didn't look so good anymore. It seems as if COVID hit hard there. You have to understand this is also far away from Corfu Town, but there is a bus and many excursions are being offered. Where this part of the beach Agios Georgios is organized, over there we find Ipsos, completely empty, amazing sandy dunes, so the peace and quiet is never far away in the south. In the far south on the Cape of Corfu, we find Cavos, party center of the south, also where some TV series about drunken youngsters ending up in a hospital have been filmed. Cavos is not only that, things are developing there, but you need to know this before you book. There isn't even sufficient time in 10 minutes to discuss Bukhari, Petriti, very quiet, quaint fishing villages, Omoraitica, which is more like Benitses on the same coast. Corfu is way too big. Remember to get my Corfu guide, including the e-maps with over 300 locations on Corfu that I would recommend. Everything you need to know is there. Enjoy your holiday to Corfu, and remember to follow me for daily Greece travel tips.